What's the most important thing you put on? Is it red?
No.
Is it green? I'll bet it's green.
It's clear. Soft and dry clear gel antiperspirant. Odor and wetness protection with no white, no messy, no chalky residue.
Clear enough?
Hey, wait a minute. So the most important thing you put on
leaves no messy white stuff behind.
Soft and dry clear gel.
When you're in pain, you don't want to just ease the pain or lessen the pain. You want to stop the pain. That's why I use Motrin IB.
Motrin IB. The pain stops here.
Do you know which grass and weed killer works faster? The weeds do. Weeds can't hide from Spectracide.
Why should I be on the internet?
How do I get on the internet?
With the Internet A to Z Starter Kit, it includes everything you need. Netscape Navigator software, a $45 value, free. And a personal email account, free. Plus 336 hours internet use free. That's a lot more than popular online services offer. And Internet A to Z can cut your online service bills and save you up to 99%. You also receive this exclusive 60-minute video, which makes setting up and using the internet quick and easy. Plus, if you call in the next 5 minutes, we'll include this bonus internet server's guide. That's Netscape Navigator software, email, 336 hours internet access, savings up to 99%, the video and the guide, all for only $19.95. We guarantee you can't find an easier, more complete internet package at any price or your money back. Don't get left out. Order now.
Call 1-800-396-8833 now and order the Internet A to Z Starter Kit, including Netscape Navigator software, 14 days free internet access, and the video for only $19.95 plus shipping. FedEx delivery available. Order now.
Now stay tuned as Paul Lynde guest stars on The Munsters. Next on Nick at Night.
Isn't it curious that Lucy's trademark exclamation is wah?
Why We Watch with Nick at Night's Dr. Will Miller.
Wah is the cry of a baby. Lucy is completely in touch with her inner child. We watch because we unconsciously relate. Our own inner child longs to join Lucy when she dresses up, throws a pie, or gets shot from a cannon. Thank goodness our Mr. Mooney within sets limits to keep us safe.
DMX is Digital Music Express. Get 30 different channels of continuous CD quality music with no commercials or talk or DJs. So, what do you want to listen to? Experience DMX for our half-off rate of just $29.95 for 6 months. Offer valid for a limited time only.
He's smart and sensitive. He has a crush on this girl, but she only has eyes for a dumb hunk. So he helps the hunk get the girl by writing his love letters for him. And it works. Bummer. Sound like your life? It's amazing what you'll find when you read a book.
Look at that mess. Time to get out the broom and the dustpan. And that's a lot of work. But now there's a faster, easier way to pick up that mess. It's the revolutionary Broom Vac from Dirt Devil. It sweeps and vacuums in one simple step. It's powerful enough for spills, but it's also great for those everyday cleaning jobs. And because the Broom Vac is lightweight as well as powerful, it's perfect for those hard-to-reach places. The powerful, rechargeable, cordless Broom Vac picks up just about any dry mess in no time. The Broom Vac has a full 2-year manufacturer's warranty from Dirt Devil. Get the Broom Vac. More proof that nothing escapes the power of a Dirt Devil. Nothing.
Call now to order your Dirt Devil Broom Vac for just $49.99 plus shipping and handling. To order by check or credit card, call 1-800-791-3900.
If your boss is a jerk and you get home from work and you feel like a troglodyte, there's instant relief from this hardship increase. Thank goodness for Nick at Night.
Next up, the Munsters, followed by the Mary Tyler Moore Show. Treat yourself to the very best. Treat yourself to Nick at Night.
Like to gamble? Take crazy chances? Well, you don't have to go to Vegas or jump off a cliff tied to a cord. Just turn the channel. Go ahead, roll the dice. Take your chances with all the new shows the other guys keep churning out. You'll be back. Because our shows, well, they're a sure bet. Take it from the guy inside. You'll be back because you can rely on the classic TV of Nick at Night.
If you were to come to Texas to visit me, I will take you to see some real cowboys, just the way you see them in the movies. Then I will take you to see some beautiful wildflowers. Let's go fishing, okay? We happen to have the best beaches you can find. Beautiful, beautiful. If I'm going to take you shopping, let's go to Houston. Also, let's go to Dallas.
If you want to know why Texas is like a whole other country, just ask one of our 18 million ambassadors.
For everybody out there gifted with a photographic memory, I present the new 272-page Texas Travel Guide. Exciting, huh? Hope you enjoyed reading it.
Of course, if you don't have a photographic memory, we'll send you a free copy. Just call 1-800-8888-TEX.
To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether it is nobler in the mind to suffer...
Peter!
What?
Peter, try it backwards.
Certainly. Question is that B2 not or B2?
Peter, I meant the pizza.
I knew that.
Okay, anyone who still hasn't eaten our stuffed crust pizza backwards, please step forward.
Hot pizza of made where stuff the love you.
On April 26th, 14 modern-day gladiators will march into a ring to fight man-to-man. See Brazilian jiu-jitsu legend Huff Gracie, the Russian menace Igor, and the undefeated Awesome Conan take bare-knuckles fighting to the extreme. And another attraction, Penthouse brings the most beautiful and sexy girls of the world. Battle Cake, Extreme Fighting, live on pay-per-view, Friday, April 26th.
For generations, the Iowa State Fair has been one of our state's most cherished traditions. But after more than a century of making memories, the fair needs our help. Buildings and facilities at the fairgrounds have been devastated by Iowa's changing seasons and lack of funding for repairs. But there's hope for this Iowa treasure, and you can help. Please donate $1 or more on your Iowa tax return to help renovate and preserve the fairgrounds. Together, we can repair the fair for the next 100 years.
On video, he's one of Disney's best-loved characters in the motion picture that's delighted families for generations, The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. It's the original classic motion picture, a masterpiece of Disney imagination. And this is the perfect time to buy this great movie. Because now, you can save $5 when you buy Pooh and one other Disney Masterpiece Collection video. Give your family The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. On sale now at the perfect price.
And I want you to understand that. And I
I'm not ready to go yet, okay? I'm not ready. You gotta wait. I got shit to do. I'm in the middle of something, all right? Just hold on.
Watch your mouth or don't come in here.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah, people, come on, we're adults here. You know what? What is the point?
Yeah, we're adults here. I got a fucking Burger King fucking thing on my head. We're all fucking adults here, guys. People in my chat, 2 words. What are they? 2 words. Let me see the chat flood. Let me see the chat flood. 2 words. Okay, next caller. Please. Let's get into the meat and potatoes, which translate in American to dick and balls.
I got flip-flops. These are my flip-flops. Yeah, I really like my flip-flops because I can put them on. Because look, watch me put them on. I can put them on all by myself. Watch me put them on. Look, are you watching? Look, these are my flip-flops.
Thanksgiving Day. I remember it clearly. It was Thanksgiving Day. I was inserting myself in somebody else's fucking business as a cash grab, and you know.
This channel is harsh reality.
Kareniak se jodió la sucia vida. Amen.
This is Jonathan Lee Riches. I have cheeseburgers. I'm gonna put cheese on them. I'm gonna make sure that I have my hamburgers because I'm a big boy now and I can make the hamburgers. My mom lets me use the stove now.
And I'm just like, wow, I like receipts, and they brought receipts. Like they had evidence to back up everything they said. And I'm like, okay, well, there's got to be another side to this, right? Like this can't. No, this is too fantastic.
Yeah, because you're not going to just jump to the conclusion that there's a conspiracy amongst cops to cover up a murder. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, cops and just like soccer moms and shit. Like that's what made it even crazier. Like,
yeah, get it, Betty. Yeah,
did you have a close relationship with your mom?
Get it, Betty.
Oh, of course, I still do.
Yeah.
My older sister was kind of sad. She was more of the prissy girl that like going
That is
and
the
getting her
best
done.
shit fucking
Shopping for
ever.
dresses with mommy. I was the tomboy that liked playing with.
Shout out to Cherry for just being just easily the most faithful and loyal supporter that I've ever had. That someone could have that tenacity with loyalty. And I'm really blessed to have someone like Cherry be part of this channel and in my life. So it means a lot. And yes, I named him after Mr. T and Rocky. Say, woman. Say, woman. Say, woman. Said your old man ain't got no heart. Why don't you come down to my apartment tonight and I'll show you a real man. Oh my God, I'm so in love with this little dude. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up. I love you guys very, 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 very much. And we will do this again very soon, my friends. Oh, say bye. Say bye. Oh, I love you too. Give me a kiss. Oh, I love you. Bye, guys. welcome back, people. Oh my goodness. People. Whoo, thank you guys, man. Seriously. I streamed for 8.5 hours almost, and you guys are back hanging in there with me because I'm keeping the tradition going, folks. Turtleboy's on Howie Carr. We stream it. It's what we do. Okay? It's a thing. It's a thing now. It has to be a thing because you cannot properly tell the Karen Reed, John O'Keefe story without telling the Turtleboy story. Like it or not, it's the truth. So Turtleboy has earned his bragging rights. He has absolutely earned his bragging rights. And so when he shows up on Howie Carr to brag about the fact that he has played an instrumental part in the current justice that is being served right now for Karen Reed, cannot be denied. So I like to go over it. I like to make sure that it's well documented. And I like to react to things with you guys, and I like to experience these things with you guys. That's what mostly this is about, is just we enjoy the Howie Carr appearances, and so we watch them together, and that's what this is all about. And there's you might have noticed my snark in the chat a little earlier. Listen, people, I've had my fill of bullshit today. Okay, I've had my fill of it. All right, there's been a lot of it, and I've had my fill. Okay, I have a very, very low patience after streaming for almost 8.5 hours and then being back here, even though I love it and I enjoy it. Don't get me wrong, but my patience for bullshit, like, okay, it's here. All right, it's more like here at like 9 a.m. and then it goes up to here. But then when we get to the second time, 6:30 in the evening, it's almost gone. Get it? Yeah. So I would ask you to forgive my snark or apologize in advance for my snark. But if you haven't guessed by now, after that rant, I don't give a fuck. It's pretty apparent that I just don't care whether or not you fucking like it or not. So that's where my mindset is at this moment, at this point. So just saying. Yeah. So we've got Howie Carr pulled up. It is 6:33. So here we go.
5-star reviews. Be their next satisfied customer. Go to Eden Pure BOGO for the Thunderstorm BOGO deal.
I won't make you guys listen to the commercials, but I think he's coming back. There we go. There we go.
Live from the Matthews Brothers Studios.
844-500-4242. If you follow the Karen Reed case, it seems like the defense is making a lot of poking huge holes in the defense is poking huge holes in the prosecution case, and they're just showing how connected everybody is. It's like a little Peyton Place down in Canton, and they're all connected. But this isn't just a wife swap, and this is a murder charge against Karen Reed. And my question is, is the jury hearing any of this? I don't think they seem to be. And joining us now is Aidan Carey, also known as Turtleboy, and he's been covering this case from day one, and he's been involved in it too, and he's facing charges as well. And Turtleboy, what is going on here? There was another amazing bit of testimony today about how that one of the investigating officers, Michael Lank, was involved in basically a bar brawl on behalf of one of the McAlberts back in 2002, and he actually bit a guy, and they settled out of court. and he was defending his good pal, the Alberts.
I love how
but why didn't the jury hear? First, tell us what happened, and then tell us why the jury didn't hear any of this today.
Yeah, I mean, I broke this story back in May. I mean, after what you're hearing from the defense every day now is coming from tvdailynews.com. And that story, when you, it's like one of the first things that comes up when you search for Chris Albert. He was in an incident, obviously, that involved Michael Lank, who we call the Fixer. You know, he was just a young Canton cop back in the day, class of 1990, Canton High School, just like every other guy in the Canton Police Department, born and raised in that town. And yeah, Chris Albert got in a fight with these guys, the Lapalato brothers. He lost, and he went crying to his buddy who was off duty drinking, Michael Lank, and who just kind of clocked in, roughed these guys up, spit on them, handcuffed them. They charged them, and they ended up getting acquitted, and then they sued the town. And I actually spoke with the prosecutor who got assigned to that case. He emailed me, and he said he was furious with the Canton Police Department because they lied to him about the case. He went in there blind, not knowing exactly what.
They lied to him? The Canton police lied?
Everything Link had done.
Wow.
Yeah, they charged these Lapalato brother guys. Turns out they were just completely innocent. They got a mutual combat here. But you can't touch an Albert in Canton. Like this is the way these people are trained to believe.
Why wasn't the jury hearing this? This is, to me, I know, the papers will lead with the tears, when hearing the 911 call and all that, and I understand. But I mean, isn't this more significant ultimately?
You'd think
so. I mean, all this stuff is you're seeing. This family gets special treatment. They're like the Kennedys. I mean, I'm not even kidding. The treatment that the Alberts get in the town of Canton and in Norfolk County in general is like nothing you've ever seen before, Howie. We saw it with two cops today. A dead body, a dead cop nonetheless, showed up on Brian Albert's lawn, missing a shoe, and they don't even search the house. Two cops, good, also Canton High School class of 98, and Lank, 1990, both go in the house. Neither of them searches around. Neither of them asks to take a look around. Neither of them says, hey, there's a dead guy out there missing a shoe.
And he's a cop.
There's a missing shoe in here. They don't even do that. Howie, they got a search warrant, probable cause to come in my house because I do a YouTube show in my basement. That was the probable cause. And they said, you're doing witness intimidation on your show, so we're coming in your house. We're taking all your stuff. We're taking all your electronics. We're bringing you down there. We're going to give you the perp walk, all that stuff. I should have thrown a dead cop on my front lawn. The state police would stay away. It's like kryptonite to them.
Well, tell us about the blood evidence, how they collected that, and what it ended up in at the station house. So this is John O'Keefe. He's on the lawn, the Alberts lawn, dead, and he's bleeding. And so, what do they do from there?
Yeah, like the Keystone Cops. So they get there and they get him out of there. And the first thing they do is like, we need to secure the scene. So let's get the leaf blower, because apparently that's what they do. So Good went back to his home.
The leaf blower?
He lives around the block. Yeah, leaf blower. And they showed a video.
Howie Carr's like,
what?
Wait, what?
And they show him like kind of blowing up, the scene. You don't see a single red piece of taillight. Mind you, 35 pieces of taillight are found.
Howie's still on the leaf blower.
To 34 Fairview Road, including 4 later on that day after 18 inches of snow fell. You don't see a single red piece of taillight there. It's ridiculous. You don't see a single size 12 black Nike shoe that's missing. But you do see a couple droplets of blood. I mean, this guy just bled out. You see just a couple droplets of blood. That's it. And what do they preserve them in? Well, they knock on Kelleher's door across the street. Kelleher is a lieutenant in the police department, and he gives them.
This is like Copland. This is like that movie Copland.
He gives them 6 red Solo cups because that was in the manual apparently, and they put them in there, like in little with each drop in there, and they say they put it in the fridge when they get back, but there's a picture of it sitting in a Stop and Shop bag in the garage. I mean, this is a murder case, and this is how these Keystone Cops are treating evidence. It's a joke.
I prefer to keep my evidence in a market basket box.
That's what I say. It's cheaper. Better deal.
Right. And you don't have to worry about the bottom falling out if it gets wet. Good Lord. They kept it in a shopping bag from Stop and Shop. And then you've got pictures of it. You've got pictures of it up on TB Daily News, right? Or you will have soon. Or it's yeah.
We saw it live on TV today. We saw it on TV today. And we heard that 911 call, but the audio sucked. I mean, we've had a better version of that 911 call for a while. And Jennifer McCabe called John O'Keefe, a man who, she invited over there, whose daughters, whose kids play together with her kids, right? She calls him a man lying in the snow. Doesn't even mention that, he's a Boston police officer. He's dead out here. He looks like he's dead. He calls him a man lying in the snow. Doesn't mention to the 911 dispatcher that, I'm outside of my sister's house and her husband's a cop. Maybe I should go wake them up, get blankets, and try to do something. She does nothing. She just lets them lie there, starts chumming it up with every cop on the scene, getting the narrative in their head, right? That, that basically Karen Reed did this. She's saying
now this is the woman. This is the woman who texted 3 hours earlier how long to die in snow.
That's right. How long to die in cold? And she did it again at 6:24. I mean, if you look at these videos, if you look at the panic in these videos of the dash cam, and you're like, imagine somebody in the panic of this going on their phone and just Googling how long to die in cold. That's what they want us to believe, that she only did it at 6:24, right? Like, as if you couldn't ask one of the dozens of first responders on the scene, how long could he survive out here? Instead, she Googles it. Come on, she Googles it the exact same way she did 4 hours prior. She thought that it would hide it, but that's not how the internet works. They found it.
Why didn't the judge let all this testimony about Lank and his bar fight on behalf of one of the quote unquote witnesses go in, let the jury hear?
Because she's a hack, Howie. This is all these people protect each other. That's what all these people do. All these politically connected people, they all.
But I mean, at some point, some other panel of judges is going to look at this. I mean, these are reverse. We all know that we're getting familiar with the phrase reversible error. I mean, this is yet another I would think. I mean, shouldn't people know? Shouldn't people know this? I thought she was going to rule today on the firefighter McLaughlin. Did she rule or not?
More pictures came out over the weekend, Howie. We've got a picture of them at a baby shower 6 months before John O'Keefe died. We got pictures of her visiting each other in college. They didn't go to the same university together, right? These aren't just acquaintances. These are besties.
They were in the hot tub. They were in the hot tub together in Maine.
Yeah, they're in the hot tub in Maine. I mean, I don't take hot tubs with acquaintances. I don't know about you. And so, she's
traveling Maine with acquaintances.
It's like, she just lied on the stand in a murder trial. David Giannetti brings this all up at the beginning, and she's like, we'll revisit that later. They never did. So it's just like Karen Reed's going to be exonerated, but it's going to be a fight because of all the home cooking going on right now. Monty Bev.
So there was all that. So today, just alone, they could have seen that the witness, the firefighter witness, the woman lied basically on the stand on Friday, saying it was an acquaintance rather than one of her best friends. And then you had the fact that one of the guys doing an investigation had been involved in a bar fight where he actually bit a guy and got the town sued and lost the case for beating up a guy to defend this quote unquote witness, Brian Albert. I mean, but the jury theoretically didn't hear any of this stuff. They're, who knows who's listening? Who knows who's listening to this program tonight? Who knows who's reading your social media?
They're not supposed to, but if I'm these, Howie, but where's the rest of the media? Like when Auntie Bev, says that these pictures of the firefighter and Caitlin Albert can't be put into evidence. Why isn't the media putting out the picture and saying this is the image that isn't going into evidence? This is the image the jury isn't seeing.
Right.
So the public isn't seeing it unless you're following Turtleboy, which you should. But not everybody is, unfortunately, so they're not seeing this stuff.
It's really amazing that. But I think I think this is a huge story. This has become a huge story. I mean, I'm just looking at your Twitter numbers.
It's not
just
as big of a story as
crawling up through the roof. I'm still 35,000 ahead of you. I predict by the end of the month you may be ahead of me.
I'm catching up, Howie. Yeah.
You are,
Good time
and
to be a
you
turtle.
know people should be following you, and they should be following me too at Howie Carr Show. But
Absolutely
the thing is, I just don't understand what they think the end game is here, because they can't. They're not going to get a conviction. They haven't even put on the
Money,
really. They haven't put on the really bad. They haven't even started.
They don't want a conviction. They don't care if there's a conviction or not. They'll probably sleep a lot better at night knowing an innocent woman isn't in jail. The whole purpose of this song and dance is to prevent the Commonwealth from having to go after the people who actually did it. This isn't about convicting Karen Reed. It's about protecting Brian Albert and Jennifer McCabe. That's what it is.
And again, I've asked you this before, but what's in this for Pass the Gravy or Meatball Morrissey, whatever you want to call him?
That's the ultimate mystery, is what pictures of Pass the Gravy does Brian Albert have? Like, what skeletons are, and we know he's the kind of guy that passes out behind the wheel in the middle of the day and then blames it on pizza. Okay. So God knows what this guy's doing late at night, who he's hanging around with, the kind of characters he's associating with, women, booze, who knows what he's up to. I mean, look at him, right? The guy looks like every corrupt hack politician in the history of democracy.
He does. And he's from Central Casting. He could be Boss Hogg stand-in in the Dukes of Hazzard.
But you look at this guy and you're like, who knows what skeletons this guy has in his closet? Who knows what a guy like Brian Albert might have on him? So who knows? I mean, these guys, they're not going to let each other go down. All those cops knew they were responding to Brian Albert's house. They knew that he was going to be treated differently from everyone else, and they acted accordingly.
Why was Higgins, the ATF agent? He was hammered like the rest of them, wasn't he? But didn't he go down to the Canton PD after?
Yeah, he just checks in. He's got his own office there. They kept asking about that today.
Yeah, you like to get hammered and then go where you work, especially if you're a cop, right? He's not even a Canton cop. He's ATF. He's a Fed, but he somehow has an office in Canton. That's another thing I don't understand.
His best friend Berkowitz.
Howie's asking all the right questions.
Police chief. Who asked the reporter from Boston 25 News to take down a tweet on February 1st that mentioned the fact that John O'Keefe was found on Brian Albert's lawn because Brian Albert was a pillar of the community. That's the kind of police chief, was running the show in Canton when this happened. So, and he's buddies with Higgins. So Higgins just gets an office. An ATF agent just gets an office for some reason in the Canton Police Department. It's interesting.
Yeah, I understand the FBI having an office in the LAPD. I get it. But the ATF and the Canton PD, that's really not.
It's the gun capital of America, Canton, Massachusetts. Militias forming there, Howie.
So what's up tomorrow?
Tomorrow, Lank is going to get cross-examined, and that's going to be great theater for sure. I don't know who comes after that. I'm hearing that there might be some McAlberts at some point this week.
Do they let the defense lawyers though ask him about the bar fight?
Oh, they haven't had their chance at him. He just had the Wadir today. So tomorrow the prosecution will start with him, and then the defense gets their chance. And I'm sure they're licking their chops waiting for that one.
If the prosecution's got any sense, they'll ask him about the bar fight first. But they haven't shown me much sense so far. They haven't conducted themselves like most prosecutors I've ever seen. Aiden, Turtleboy, Kearney, where can people reach you if they want to read your stuff?
tbdailynews.com or on Twitter at Dr. Turtleboy.
All right. I thank you for being on with us again, and we'll talk to you very soon again, Turtleboy. Aiden Kearney, Turtleboy. I'm Howie Carr.
Red Solo Cup, I fill you up. Let's have a party.
Become a Howie Carr Show super fan. Subscribe to Howie's newsletter and you'll get the latest news, columns, cheap bastard deals.
Oh, Howie. Red Solo Cup. Holy shit. That's got to be the best one yet. That's got to be the best Turtleboy Howie Carr yet. That was fantastic. I love it. Yeah, I'm so glad that we cover these. I'm so glad that we go over these. Oh man, Howie Carr is the shit, man. This is great. Cause dude, listen, man. This Good Sergeant Good. I mean, dude straight up said at one point, "Oh, we saw the lights come on, and that's when we decided to speak with the Alberts." Because when the lights came on, because we didn't want to disturb them. Like, tell me you were giving this guy special treatment because he's a cop and he's Brian Albert without telling me that you're giving this guy special treatment because he's a cop and he's Brian Albert. Please, I mean, come on. It's ridiculous. This is the biggest fucking sham ever. Like, everything about this investigation is so bad that it's beyond looking at it like it's negligence. It's beyond looking at it like it's favoritism. It is sheer corruption, clearly corruption. And if it is corruption, then it's a frame up. There's way more for me to think that there's a frame up than not. Way more. I mean, just the tail light alone. Dude, they destroyed the tail light bullshit. They put it to bed like that today. Like before lunch. Literally before lunch. The tail light shit was done. Over. All this argument about the tail light, all of this bullshit about the tail light, squashed, done. Oh yeah, that dude pissed me off too. What the fuck's his name? Was that Gallagher? Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, that shit fucking. No, buzzing for truth. This G.I. Joe does not go that far back. That's yeah, no, this is early mid 80s G.I. Joe. Cool action figures that do fucking everything. They were the best. They were the best. And they will always have a place in my heart. So much to where I will don a t-shirt with their logo on it. Yeah. I can't wait to hear from Berkowitz. Oh, I can't wait. This is, dude, people, you got to understand, just today is day 1 of the second week of this trial. Day 1 of the second week of this trial. And already before lunch, the taillight was fucking over with. Over with. Not to mention all of the conflicts of interest, all of the favoritism, all of the ridiculous, crazy favoritism showing. I mean, we're talking about policy after policy being violated to the point to where these guys realized by the time that they realized, and this is how good Jackson and Yannetti are, they just wore them the fuck down. They established all of this stuff to where when they really get to it, these people have no choice but to lie or sit there and look stupid and feel stupid. That's totally what happened. It was crazy. Like, it was crazy what I watched today. Because I feel like Sergeant Good just got to fuck it mode. He just reached fuck it mode. Whatever. I don't care. Like, I'm not trying to catch a perjury charge on top of everything else that I'm probably going to catch later on. So, fuck it. Absolutely, totally the vibe I got from that. I mean, the taillight. I mean, we're talking about policies. It got to a point to where so many policies were violated that they even lied about policy. They lied about even having policy. We're talking about this dude straight up said that there was no training in the police academy on preservation or collection of evidence. that there was absolutely no training. He was like, no, not that I recall. What, dude? You're going to tell me that there's no day in the police academy where, and I still got I'm not even going to eat these, where they go, this is an evidence bag, and this is where the evidence goes. Never touch these without gloves. I've never even been in the police academy. I'm telling you, I guarantee you this is how it goes. Never touch these without sterile gloves because there's something called cross-contamination. And then there's probably at least a day's worth of cross-contamination lessons, explanation of cross-contamination. I bet you anything that there is a slew of questions in regards to cross-contamination in an exam that is required to take during your police academy training. I guarantee it. Never even been to the police academy, never even talked to anybody who went to the police academy, but common sense fucking dictates, people. Common fucking sense dictates that cross-contamination is taught in the police academy so that you don't contaminate evidence. Where a fucking man in a fucking polo shirt with a emblem of a badge on it here says Canton Police Academy or whatever the fuck. And he said, this is an evidence bag. Says right here across. Evidence. Big red letters. Okay? Evidence bag. Never touch this bag without sterile gloves. Not gloves that you get out of a box. Sterile gloves. You put on the sterile gloves. Make sure you don't touch anything. If you touch anything before you touch the bag with evidence, you change your gloves and you discard the gloves you have on. You get new ones. You put them on. You never, ever, ever cross-contaminate. Very simple. Guaranteed. I promise you. And this fucker lied about it on the stand. So I don't recall. Bro, what do you mean, dude? What the fuck do you mean? I mean, this is crazy. That's what this Sleuthy. Okay, I love it. Sleuthy saying, well, now at a minimum, the microscopic pieces of taillight cannot be trusted as not being the result of cross-contamination. A bare minimum. Truer words have not been spoken in my chat all day, besides liar a million times. But truer words have not been spoken because I absolutely agree with this. And I've been saying this. I've been saying this because eventually Proctor's going to be on that stand. And when Proctor is on that stand, this is why I've been saying the tail light means nothing. Shut the fuck up about the tail light, Plevin. Nobody gives a fuck about the tail light because the tail light is absolutely irrelevant. The reason why the tail light is irrelevant because of the comment here. That is why. Simple. It is irrelevant because the microscopic pieces of tail light were found in clothing. Clothing that was discarded on the hospital floor, but more importantly, not logged into evidence for at least 3 weeks. We haven't even gotten there yet, folks. This hasn't even been brought up in trial yet, folks. But that will be the moment where the jury will realize that the microscopic pieces of taillight mean absolutely nothing. The microscopic pieces of taillight already mean nothing because of the comment late put out here below. I mean, it's a fact. The taillight means nothing. That's their smoking gun. And if their smoking gun means nothing, that's it. They don't have a case. They just don't have a case. I mean, what, motive? The motive is a joke. The motive is a joke. She gave the kids Dunkin' Donuts and they argued about it. Are you fucking serious with that? Are you saying that shit to my face without laughing? The Dunkin' motive? I'm supposed to fucking take the Dunkin' motive and go, oh man. No, I'm not. I'm not going to take the Dunkin' motive. The Dunkin' motive is the weakest shit I've ever heard in my life. Never heard anything more fucking stupid in my fucking life, dude.
I think we got a super dad. Super dad. I think we got a super dad. Super dad. Super dad. Super dad. Dad, 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 dad. I think we got a super dad. I think we got
some guy with cancer. Thank you. Are you saying Plevin's simulation isn't correct? Anyone checked on him yet? We checked on him for a second. He had crusty panties on with him, and they were looking real salty. It was just before lunch, and Plevin and crusty panties were like this. They were like, oh, look at Karen Reed, cold. You hungry? I'm hungry. Yeah, let's break for lunch. That was it. That's what happened. That was that was all that happened. Don B gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much. Congrats to Mikey the plumber, Sandy B, Marine Mom, Carrie, Ken. Congrats, guys, and thank you so much to Don B. Appreciate you. But yeah, let's hold on. Let's see what we can find here. We can find let's check on a couple of things. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Looks like Wattendorfer's moved on. All right. So she's not even talking about that. She's live right now, but she's not talking about this case. I wonder why. So yeah, there's that. Bro, anybody who, dude, look at this. She's got Brian Enton. I can't even take Brian Enton seriously anymore, thanks to the fact that he was on Twattendorfer's show. I can't take him seriously anymore. It's that's over with. Yeah. So News Nation is in the same boat with me with worse than Core TV. Because I still got a little faith in Vinny. I got a little bit of faith left in Vinny. I do. I can't lie. Hold on. Let's hear what their expectations were at the beginning of this. This should be good. Oh my goodness.
I think we got a super dad. Super dad. I think we got a super dad. Super dad. Super dad. Super dad. Dad, 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 dad. I think we got a super dad. I think we got a super.
Caroline Ford, did you discuss the fact that the scene wasn't watched all day? Another pleasantrism. No, we haven't discussed that yet, but we will. Oh my god, hold on.
I think we got a super dad. Super dad. I think we got a super dad. Super dad. Super dad. Super dad. Dad, 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 dad. I think we got a super dad. I think we got a super jet.
Hayden Kane, thank you. Do you think Attorney Little examined anyone other witnesses besides the kids? I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. But thank you. Appreciate it. Let's listen to this stupidity because I love it. It's so fun.
Video. Let me set it up first, though, for a moment. So, Howie made a point of telling the jury to pay special attention to the center console in the vehicle. And I didn't know what that was about, right? So, subsequent research, it turned.
Now, this is interesting because this is the beginning of the stream today. Okay. So, this is before everything happened.
Turns out these newer advanced safety systems on the vehicles. Just making sure my volume's working. All right, good. These newer safety systems have a very advanced automatic braking system. So if it senses a person, a vehicle, a bicyclist, an object, in front or in behind, depending on what direction you're going, it will automatically brake the car. Okay, so which leads to obvious questions about Karen backing into John's SUV in the driveway. So what I did was I looked to see if you. So the way you turns out the way you turn off this automatic braking system, there is an override button on that center console.
Today, Junior.
And so if you're backing up, and your brakes go off automatically because that's something that's triggered it, and you want to override that, you punch that override button. That's my understanding. Now, I'm not sure. There's different. I don't know if that's exactly how that works with this particular model. Kate's here. I'm going to bring her in too. And let me just add this video too first. I'm going to pause it and bring in Kate. Hi, Kate. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right. So I'm going to zero in here. And we're going to pay particular attention to Karen inside the vehicle.
Wait. Hold on. We got to hear all that one more time. There's a reason. There's a method to my madness, folks.
So questions about Karen. Depending on what this safety system. Just making sure my volume's working. All right, good.
Okay.
These newer safety systems have a very advanced automatic braking system. So if it senses a person, a vehicle, a bicyclist, an object, in front or in behind, depending on what direction you're going, it will automatically brake the car. Okay, so which leads to obvious questions about Karen backing into John's SUV in the driveway. So what I did was I looked to see if you. So the way you. Turns out the way you turn off this automatic braking system, there is an override button on that center console. And so if you're backing up and your brakes go off automatically because that's something that's triggered it, and you want to override that, you punch that override button. That's my understanding. Now, I'm not sure. There's different. I don't know if that's exactly how that works with this particular model. Kate's here. I'm going to bring her in too.
Okay.
And
in his defense, because I like to play devil's advocate, he's like, I don't know about that particular model. Okay. Oh wait.
I think we got a super cat. Super cat. I think we got a super cat. Super cat. Super cat. Super cat. I think we got a super cat. I think we got a super cat.
Todd, thank you so much. Let's see. Will the Glera is a wicked since I realize that the autocorrect on super chats is like really bad, at least on iPhones. Will the Glera is wicked Edison's can't wait for Mikey Proctor, you fucking loser. You're probably in bed with Kate Peter. Wicked pizza. All right. Will, the Glera is a wicked pizza. Can't wait for Mikey Proctor. You fucking loser. You're probably in bed with Kate Peter. Crusty panties. Oh my God. Thank you, Todd. I appreciate it, buddy. All right. So before he brings on crusty panties, let's take a look at something. So Plevin here is saying, now in his defense, okay, he's saying he's not sure about that model. Okay, so you know, he threw out the disclaimer of, you know, I may not know what the fuck I'm talking about. Fair enough. I'll give him that. I throw that disclaimer out all the time. Fair enough. I won't hold that against him. But let's take a look at this real quick. Sleuthy just sent this to me here. So the system may not operate in the following situations. Okay, this is the automatic braking system, right? That Plevin is referring to. If a battery terminal has been disconnected and reconnected, and then the vehicle has not been driven for a certain amount of time. Okay, we know that doesn't apply. And if the shift lever is in reverse. If the shift lever is in reverse, no, it's not gonna happen, dude. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna work. Plevin, just stop, bro. Just stop. Save some face, a little bit of face, bro. Like, I'm not even gonna hold you to I'm leaving YouTube and never coming back. I'm not even gonna hold you to that. Like, I'm not even gonna hold you to that. I mean, a lot of other people are. I'm not. I just want you to know I'm not gonna hold you to that. Just save some fucking face and just stop this shit already. Knock it the fuck off at this point. Seriously, like, when is enough enough?
I think we got a super cat. Super cat. I think we got a super cat. Super cat. Super cat. Super cat. I think we got a super cat.
Sherry D, thank you so much. Oh my God, Grant is a guest on a live show now. Karen Reed went at 5 a.m. and saw Officer John O'Keefe's body before picking up Jen and Carrie to kill time. Jesus, man. Just you two, Grant. Just give it the fuck up already, bro. Like, how do you even sit there, dude? Like, how do you even sit there in the courtroom next to serious people, bro, doing a job, and you're thinking like this? Like, how do you do that, bro? Like, I don't even understand, like, how you even have the fucking balls to sit there with bloody shitty pants next to professionals, and you're thinking like this, and you're typing shit like what was just fucking put in that super chat. I don't understand, dude. Just fucking stop it. Both of you guys. Plevin, Grant, stop it. Unbelievable.
Just add this video too first. I'm going to pause it and bring in Kate. Hi, Kate. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right. So I'm going to zero in here, and we're going to pay particular attention to Karen inside the vehicle. Is she grabbing the shift, or is she hitting the override button? The override button is on the left side of, we saw the pictures last week, is on the left side.
Right. Can't, unfortunately, there's no way to enhance this really because we can't.
I think we got a super cat. Super cat. Super cat. Super cat. I think we got a super cat. I think we got a super cat.
Lindsay, Will, please play the Red Solo Cup tomorrow when they have you on the loudspeaker. I'm pretty sure I totally would, by the way, but I'm pretty sure that it's copyright protected and then I'll get dinged for playing it. So probably not. But it's a great idea. I really wish I could. I will be doing it in spirit. But that was fantastic on the Howie Carr show that Howie Carr did that. I'm not even sure Howie Carr knew that his producer was going to do that. I feel like he was caught off guard and started laughing when that happened. Holy shit, what a day.
Add resolution where it does not already exist.
Yeah,
you know?
and even if and whatever you do, it's going to be an artificial program adding it too, so it may not be accurate. But it looks to me like that does not look like a grabbing motion. It looks like a pushing motion. I can't say that with any certainty, but doesn't it kind of look like that?
Kinda. It's hard to say.
And you have to see if her hand comes off. What the fuck? It gets blurry there, so it's hard to tell. But her hand.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I don't know. I just thought it was interesting.
I think that if she was purposefully hitting John's car to like account for her taillight, though, she probably would have hit it harder, right?
Maybe.
Yeah.
But another question too is, so the defense is saying that this is when the damage was caused on the taillight.
No offense, but
So a question
stupid asshole.
I've never asked, but should be asking is, if you back into something to do enough damage, don't you get out of the car and look to see what you did?
Most of the time, I would say, yeah.
I mean, at this point, she doesn't think that John's lying in the snow, and at least according to the defense theory. So why wouldn't you get out to see what damage it did to both vehicles? That just seems automatic to me.
Right.
So, I mean, unless you lightly bump into something, which is, if she didn't do this intentionally, she probably just touched it so lightly she didn't worry about the damage.
Right.
Okay.
Get the
All
fuck
right.
out of here.
Well, let's take that off. I don't know. I just found that interesting because thinking about the console and Lally talking about it,
dude, that's misdirection.
It just had me wondering if you could.
It's misdirection, and you fell for it. Lally was talking about something completely fucking irrelevant that matters zero, and you fell for it and just started fucking exploring it and just looked like a jackass on your live stream. I mean, dude, you know what's really funny is Plevin had an opportunity. Plevin totally had an opportunity. Plevin got all kinds of fucking like exposure, being on court TV, not once, but twice, right? Sitting next to Vinnie Politan. He had an opportunity, dude. And all he had to do at this point was just backpedal a little bit. He could totally transition. I've seen fucking people do it before. I've seen them do it. I've seen YouTubers do it where they backpedal, and then they save face. And even honesty goes a long way where you go, you know what? Because I would respect the fuck out of him. I really would, to a certain degree. I mean, like I said, to a certain degree. But I would respect the fuck out of that gesture if Plevin were just to be like, you know what, dude? Like, I was convinced, and now I'm not. Now I'm not. Now, I mean, it fucking looks like there was some dirty shit going on here. It absolutely looks like there was some dirty shit going on here. Totally looks. It's not so hard to believe now that these cops played favorites and showed favoritism to Brian Albert because it was his house. It's not that hard to believe. She very well may have been framed. I mean, I would absolutely respect that gesture. I wouldn't fucking be like, hey, Plevin's all right. Because, I mean, there was months and months of this shit, of just this stupidity. Like, just bullheaded bullshit stupidity is what we've watched for months, people. For months. Bullshit, bullheaded stupidity blasted all over Twitter all goddamn day for months. For months. Scott. There's a few channels that don't like me, but just check out their track records. So that should tell you everything you need to. This is just, Plevin, at this point, and this is what I'm saying, is dude could have absolutely taken an opportunity. You know, he got all his exposure on Court TV, and he could have locked. You think that Court TV is going to fuck with this guy after Karen Reed is found innocent? And after he sat there and looked as stupid as he did? He has no credentials. You know what I mean? He has no credentials. He can't afford to be wrong on Court TV like that. That wrong? He can't afford that. Twattendoffer can. And they won't even, I haven't seen her there in a minute. But I'm saying, like, he could have totally taken that opportunity and been like, all right, I could absolutely build a relationship with Court TV. And all I got to do is just start making sense. And no.
You could see her inside the cabin there pushing that button, which is right on the console. And it looks like she is, but the shift is there too, so you can't really tell.
Right.
All right. So what do you expect is going to happen today?
Do we even know who's on there?
I had heard that Lank was on deck. I don't know if he's with, but so it looks like they're going chronologically from the crime scene. So you'll probably get Lank, Goody, then Gallagher, who got there 45 minutes later.
Right.
And then maybe, hopefully, whatever officer went to the wellness check, and then we'll get to see that 822 video. Hopefully that happens today.
Well, he can't outsmart me because I'm a moron.
I don't know. You have any thoughts on that?
I'm hoping so. I mean, I think that Lank and Goody are going to take a while because of cross-examination.
I guess Goody is going to be a hard guy to really make look bad. From what I'm hearing, he's kind of a really nice kind of kid, kind of cop, all-American looking, clean-cut, friendly, officer-friendly kind of kid. So, I don't know.
And I imagine that the sort of badgering of the first responders may not have really looked great to the jury, so maybe they should.
Dude, she sounds like fucking Pat, bro. You remember Pat? You mad at me, Bill? I have to go see my fiance. Oh, what's your fiance's name? Terry. Oh my God. Somebody lock me the fuck up.
Back a little bit.
Yeah, you would think so. It's fun. I mean, I do engage in civil discourse with people that from the other, the quote unquote other side. Anybody that has their own opinions and they're respectful, I'm happy to talk.
I can't be respectful anymore, bro. I can't be respectful anymore, bro. Like, this is good, just beyond. You all are too fucking stupid.
And probably won't mention his name, but this one guy in particular is like, I don't understand why the state is even not dropping these charges right now. This case is blown up, and I'm like, I don't get stuff like that. Like, even if you don't think the state has done well, if that's your interpretation of what happened last week, we've only seen a tiny fraction of the evidence. And last week, certainly nothing last week tended to show anything exculpatory. I mean, so I don't really understand what the basis of their thinking is on that.
It's confirmation bias, I'm going to see.
We all have it. Yeah.
At least he said we all have it. Like, at least he said that. I mean,
I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Now, I
make
make a conscious effort to not have confirmation bias because I see it too much. So I'm always asking myself, do I have confirmation bias here? Like, you know what I mean? I have to ask myself. That's why you'll catch me like say positive things. That's the process of me checking myself to make sure that I don't have confirmation bias. Is me verbally, like consciously going, all right, he's making a good point there, you know, so on, so forth. Oh, wait, you hear that? Oh, he stopped. Glover like barks when he snores. He barks in his sleep. He'll go. It's the cutest thing in the world. I love it. He does it all the time. Like, I just melted the first night that I heard him do that. I was like, what's wrong? And I realized he was sleeping and just dreaming. And I was like, oh my God, my dog is just the cutest thing in the world. But yeah, like, you'll catch me like when I point out positive things, like when Auntie Bev seemed to be doing her fucking job for once today. I'm like, okay, I my faith isn't totally gone here. Right? I'm hoping that there's, you know, she's seen the light.
I was going to say is that I kind of hope that the court is aware of and deals with what happened to Katie McLaughlin over the weekend.
Do you want to talk about that?
What?
You know more about it, so.
Kind of hope that the court is aware of and deals with what happened to Katie McLaughlin over the weekend.
Okay, let me guess. Let me guess, Krusty Panties. So you're about to build up that Katie McLaughlin was harassed over the weekend, right? That's the narrative that you're about to try to spin right now. That Katie McLaughlin was harassed over the weekend, treated poorly. Pitchforkers went after her. Dude, no. She was just exposed. She was exposed. She lied on the stand. Cause and effect. It is what it is. It's a high-profile case. She made the conscious choice to lie on the stand, whereas the public could easily prove that she was a fucking liar. That's what happened. Not poor Katie. There is no poor Katie here in this scenario. Katie McLaughlin fucking lied. Perjured herself on the stand in a trial where a woman is on trial for her life, being falsely accused of killing her boyfriend, who is a Boston police officer, and she lied on the stand. So she didn't get harassed. She got fucking exposed. There's a big difference. What happened to Katie McLaughlin over the weekend? I hope the court addresses Katie McLaughlin. And you remember, this is before the camera comes off of the fucking fan on the ceiling, and then Yannetti stands up and goes, Your Honor, some shit went down over the weekend, and some new pictures have surfaced. That's not harassment. That's exposure. And she's going to be charged with perjury if the defense can help it. And she fucking should be.
Do you want to talk about that? You know more about it. So
yeah. So apparently I mean, I think it's pretty obvious what is happening here. If you go to in the courtroom, she's testifying, and Karen was just.
Oh yeah, it's really obvious for the reasons that I just explained. But go on.
Absolutely staring her down the entire time, daggers in her eyes, right? So the message is sent to the mob already. This is somebody that we're upset with. Great. And then Turtleboy comes on and he streams about her, and then he's going to write a blog about her, right? So now
So let me get this straight. Karen Reed gave Katie McLaughlin dirty looks while Katie McLaughlin was on the stand. Karen Reed supporters saw Karen Reed do this, and that made Karen Reed supporters just bring out these pictures. These pictures that made Turtleboy just go nuts on his channel and sick everybody on Katie McLaughlin. Right? Because Karen Reed gave her dirty looks on the stand. No, sweetheart. Karen Reed gave Katie McLaughlin dirty looks on the stand because she was fucking lying. And Karen Reed knew she was fucking lying. And everyone else who's been following this case, everybody else who's been reading Turtleboy's blogs this whole time, saw and knew that she was fucking lying. And so those people took it upon themselves to dig up very public photos that are easily found on the internet that prove that she was fucking lying. That's what happened. There's no victimization of Katie McLaughlin here. Now, people who actually harass this woman, I don't condone that. I don't abide by that shit at all. I do not support that at all. People who harass this woman or threaten her in any way or anything like that, no. I don't condone that because she's going to be exposed. And she's being exposed as we speak. And Judge Bev is totally, at this point, going to have to, she's forced. There's too many eyes on her now. She's going to have to admit those photos into evidence. She's got no choice. I mean, the jury has to see this. I mean, it is what it is. She is not a victim here. She is a liar. She is someone who perjured herself in the trial of a woman being falsely accused of killing her Boston police officer boyfriend. Period. Plain and simple.
Signal has gone out, and as a result of this, she started getting, threatening communications, which apparently, from what I've heard anyway, include threats to her life. And that's a problem. That's a problem. So I'm assuming whoever sent these, if they were in fact sent, and I have it on pretty good authority.
I mean, listen,
they were.
I don't want to hear that shit from somebody who has a fucking protective order against her right now for threatening Turtleboy, and then her boyfriend actually fucking assaults him after she threatened that somebody would assault him. I don't want to hear that shit from her because she's right. You know what I mean? She's right. It's not okay to threaten this woman. It's let the law handle it. Let the defense handle this the way they're supposed to handle it. I mean, I agree with her in that sense, but I don't want to hear that shit from the likes of her. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. I'm saying she's right, but I don't want to fucking hear that shit from her, considering that this is somebody who just enjoys fucking threatening and doxing people. Get the fuck out of my face with that.
I'm assuming that they'll probably be found by the police at some point, because they're approaching people who made, nasty text messages to Colin Albert back in, in the summer, even at this point. So I'm assuming they'll probably be held accountable. It's just unfortunate that, from my perspective anyway, the genesis starts and ends with the Turtleboy blog, but there's you can't hold him accountable for what other people are doing, even though he's the one who's inciting it.
Right. There's a lot of dog whistle stuff going on that he just puts out. Did the same thing with me. He said,
see, look at now. This is what people who are cornered and are wrong do. They play victim. Oh, but he did this to me. Turtleboy. Oh, this Turtleboy must be stopped. He's not responsible for what these people did, but he incited it. Bro, I mean, people, come on. Let's just get real here real quick.
Perspective anyway, the genesis starts and ends with the Turtleboy blog, but there's you can't hold him accountable for what other people are doing, even though he's the one who's inciting it.
Right. There's a lot of dog whistle stuff going on that he just puts out. Did the same thing with me. He said,
you can't hold Turtleboy accountable, even though he's inciting it. What do you mean? You just what? What? You just fucking said that shit out loud, lady, and you expect anyone to take you seriously. You just said that shit out loud. Can't hold Turtleboy accountable, even though he's the one inciting it. Okay. So somebody gets arrested for inciting a riot, all right, they're not at fault. It's the rioters. That's all I got to do, right? If I get arrested for inciting a riot, I incite a riot and I said, start smashing the fucking windows. Take whatever you want. And everybody goes, ah, and then does it, right? I didn't break any windows and I didn't take anything. So I can't be charged. I can't be charged for inciting a riot. Okay. Yeah. You're saying that he's accountable. Sorry, but you are. And you know she did this because she has a protective order against her. You know that she backpedaled and she threw in that you can't hold Turtleboy accountable, you know, for what other people do. But she just can't resist. So she's like, even though he incited it. I love this shit. This is the best shit in the world.
Does he really have cancer? And then all of a sudden, everybody started accusing me of faking cancer, including Lauren De Laguna sending me private messages and saying I'm faking. But then Turtleboy comes out and says, I never said he faked it.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
You know.
And then
I mean, yeah. I mean, here's the thing. I'm not going to be. I'm not going to mention his cancer or anything like that. Like, I'm not doing that. But the thing though is, like, don't fucking tell the whole world that you're at stage 4 cancer, because it's going to be a subject. If you are trying to make yourself a public figure, which you are now officially a public figure, especially since you've been on, it doesn't matter if you have 10 subscribers or 10 million subscribers, you are a public figure nonetheless. You put your shit out on the internet and it is very public. Therefore, you, sir, are subject to discussion and criticism. Simple. It just is. You don't get to bitch and moan. If you put something out there on the internet and then it becomes the subject of people talking about it, you don't get to whine about it. There are personal things about my life that are out there because I should have told people none of your fucking business. That's what I should have done. I should have told everyone, fuck off, none of your fucking business. But I was very green on YouTube still, and I made a bad decision. And I felt honesty, full disclosure is the best policy, blah, 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 blah. And, you know, but now it's twisted and it's used, but you don't hear me getting up here and whining about it. You don't see me responding to it and fighting with people about it on Twitter when it's brought up. I don't do that because it's my own doing. I did that. I could have told the world to fuck off, none of your business. It's my life, none of your fucking business. I could have done that. I should have done that. But I didn't. So therefore, I made my bed. I got to lay in it. It is what it is. Right? So you don't get to whine about it, dude. The bottom line is, the question isn't whether or not Turtleboy is shitty for talking about it or not. The question is whether or not you should be so fucking candid about your fucking life.
And then later on comes out and overtly. Something that I was alerted to this morning on the witness intimidation front that's very interesting. So the Lexus. Go back to the Lexus. And I want to remind you what happened with talking to Karen Reed, right? At first it was nope. Never talked to Karen Reed in my life. She would never talk to me. Too bad. So sad. I'm getting my information from other places. I have sources. Then it was shifted a little bit. Well, I mean, maybe, so what would it matter if I was talking to her anyway? And then it was, okay, I've talked to her before. She's a confidential source. There's nothing wrong with that. And now it's, yeah, we talked 189 times on the phone. Doesn't matter at all. So, you know, we've got the lie that Aiden tells, the mask that he puts on, the real activity.
Let me stop you right there. Let me stop you right there, dummy. Shut up. Okay. Here's the thing about all that. Did Turtleboy lie at one point? Sure. Yeah, he did. Why did he lie? Same reason why I would have fucking lied in that situation. To protect my source. Simple. But here's the thing, is you're talking about this stuff. Oh, he lied about this and he lied about that. You're talking about this stuff as though you're entitled to that information. You're not entitled to that information. You're not entitled to what Turtleboy does with his sources and how he approaches his sources and how he gets information from his sources. You're not entitled to any of that information, much less who his fucking sources are. You're not entitled to any of this. You talk as though you are, which shows the person who's got something wrong with them, because you have this sense of entitlement to information that is Turtleboy's business. And Turtleboy knows that your business is what he makes your business on the internet, what he chooses to share. That is his business. That is his job. How he conducts his personal or professional relationships is not your business. You are not entitled to this information. So whether he lies about it or tells the truth and he lies, he changes his mind about this and that and this and that, when it comes to a fucking source, I don't care. I don't care. Do I acknowledge the fact that he lied? Yeah. But I don't fucking care. It doesn't matter that he lied. It means dick that he lied about it. It means nothing. It means that if Turtleboy approached me to get information for a story and I had information to give him, it tells me that I can trust him to protect me as a source. That's all that tells me. That is all that tells me, is that if I'm in a situation where I have information on a story that interests Turtleboy and Turtleboy is going to write a story about it, I know now that he'll fucking lie at the cost of having idiots like this call him a liar publicly just to protect me, his source. That's what that tells me.
Slowly, as more stuff comes out, he shifts it until finally we land at, yeah, so what? The thing that, Kate and the trolls have been accusing me of the whole time is true, but why does it even matter, right? The same thing is happening now with the
and you gotta love the fact that let's keep in mind here, folks. This is about the Karen Reed trial, no? These two people are covering the Karen Reed trial, right? Day 5, right? Why are they talking about Turtleboy? When it comes to the actual trial itself, Turtleboy's a non-issue because they're not even allowed to bring him up. Now, again, you cannot properly tell the story of Karen Reed and John O'Keefe without telling the story of Turtleboy. Fair enough. But what we're seeing here is it doesn't fall under that category. It doesn't fall under that case. What you're doing right now is taking something that is not relevant to Turtleboy and making Turtleboy somehow relevant to it. And it's not. It has nothing to do with anything that you're talking about. You're talking about the fact you're sitting here setting up for a live stream to stream a trial where you already see it going downhill as far as the picture you've been painting for months and months and months, right? You see it going downhill. So now what you're doing is you're shifting. You're playing misdirection. You're doing the same shit Lolly does, except in the court of public opinion instead of the court of law. You're playing the game of misdirection. You're applying the trick of misdirection. That's what you're doing. Look over here, Turtleboy. Don't look over here because the defense is killing this case right now. Don't look at that. Look over here. Let's talk trash about Turtleboy. That's what you're doing.
the Lexus, apparently. I haven't seen this yet. I'll probably go back after maybe in the afternoon and take a look myself. But I was alerted this morning that he's now making comments. Well, you know, what would it even matter anyway if the Reed family bought me the Lexus? So I'm not saying this is exactly.
You see what I mean? Like, dude, if I had a protection order against someone, or if better yet, if someone had a protection order against me and somebody sent me a message about the person who has a protection order against me, I'd be like, stop sending me messages about this person. I don't want to fucking see this person's name. I don't want to hear this person. I don't want nothing to do with this motherfucker at all. You're going to get me locked up. Stop sending me messages about him. I don't want to hear about them ever again. But that's not what she's doing. She just can't stop talking about him. She has a protective order against it, or I'm sorry, he has a protective order against her, and she just can't stop talking about him. To the point to where she's spreading hearsay. She's admitting it right here too. Going, oh, well, I don't know how much of this is true, but he's saying, well, so what? So what if she bought me a Lexus? I mean,
exactly what's going to happen, but I feel like it's going to come out that they, you know, contributed that money because it starts with nope. I got an inheritance from an aunt, and that's how I bought my Lexus. And then the aunt story gets dropped, and now it's nope. I'm just really successful in my blog, and now, you know, he says it.
Let me elaborate a little bit on, because I'll say it. No, it does not matter. At least as far as what we know right now. It does not matter if Nathan Reed purchased the Lexus for Turtleboy as a gift. It doesn't matter. The only way that would matter is if you can prove that that gift was in exchange to commit a crime. If it was in exchange, if it was in exchange to tamper with a jury, right? Which we know it's a non-issue. It's an absolute non-issue because it's already been established that you don't even talk about Turtleboy in this trial. They established this before the trial even fucking began. So, no, it doesn't matter if Nathan Reed if Karen Reed fucking held hands with Turtleboy, swinging arms to the car dealership, and she busted out a checkbook and went, "Shaw, how much for this Lexus? You got it." It doesn't matter. It means nothing. Absolutely nothing. Who cares? Because here's the thing is Turtleboy didn't smash this taillight. Turtleboy did not make these people go to high school together. Turtleboy did not make Lank go and deputize himself and abuse his position as a police officer in order to assert himself in a fight with the McAlberts or with the Alberts. Turtleboy did not create these personal relationships between Higgins, Proctor, Lank, Brian Albert, Chris Albert. Turtleboy didn't do any of these things. So please, pray tell me why the fuck it matters whether or not Karen Reed or fucking Nathan Reed or any Reed bought Turtleboy a fucking Lexus. Please explain that shit to me because it doesn't fucking matter. Oh my goodness. Wait a second. What?
I think we got a super dad. Super dad. I think we got a super dad. Super dad. Super dad. Super dad. Dad, 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 dad. I think we got a super dad.
Oh, some guy with cancer getting chemo listening to these two. Jesus, man. I'm sorry. But that's on you, dude. And I wish you the best. And seriously, I'm sending you prayers. I mean it. But don't listen to this shit if it's making it worse. I hope it's making it better. But yeah, right, James Carney. It does not matter who gives a fuck.
As at some point in public that the cops have his financial records, and now we're seeing a shift here. Now it's so what if they did? It wouldn't matter. So I think it's interesting.
It wouldn't.
And I do think that if they build that financial nexus, then it's a stronger case for a possibility of a RICO case here.
Yeah, RICO is complicated, because you have to prove that financial gain and an organized system to commit crimes and stuff like that. Definitely, I think.
Oh my God, you people are stupid. Like, seriously? RICO?
Giving him a Lexus to cover something a certain way is probably not illegal, but then when you link that to witness intimidation, now you have something.
No, it would be devastating. I mean, even if it sounds like the Lexus.
Witness intimidation to do what? To do what? Tell the truth? Witness intimidation to do what? Here's Alexis, Turtleboy. Here's Alexis. Can you take your phone and shove it in people's faces? I mean, when you have a text that says that, can you intimidate these witnesses for me? I'll buy you a Lexus. Show me that text. Okay. Show me that text. Then you got something to talk about. But that didn't happen. That didn't fucking happen.
Lexus was purchased via a personal check that Aiden is purporting anyway came from his account. So not necessarily that they signed the check for the Lexus, but if you have received any money really from this defense team or Karen Reed or her family, but it's especially a large sum, that's problematic, right? Because now we have the 189 phone calls. We have the text messages between, Karen, Aiden, and Natalie, where Karen seems to be giving orders. We have testimony from
Shut up! Oh my God, I don't care.
People saying, yeah, I've been around. Nothing happened without Karen's approval or direct order. And now there's a financial link too. That's very problematic.
No, it's not.
And they threw a check at Scanlon without any kind of a contract or agreement. And, he didn't cash that check. Apparently,
why, if someone gives you a check and the transaction is on the up and up, why would you ever bring it up to your lawyer? And why would your lawyer say, don't cash that, bring it back?
Yeah.
Because that's what you pay your lawyer for. That's what you pay your lawyer for. That's exactly what you pay your lawyer for. I mean, why wouldn't you do that?
I'm retarded?
Yeah, totally. You're fucking retarded.
Right. And we may never find out. And it may have just they're using money to create allies without a specific contract. They're not going to leave a paper trail for something like that.
Yeah, this is all
that
just
would be stupid.
bullshit.
So
this is just lies.
It's not like you're going to hire someone, send them some money and say, it's not like you're going to send money to Sean in the Gulf and say, lie for us, give us some disinformation. You just sponsor them in some kind of way and to cover the case. And then you leak them. But really, that's what it comes down to a trial anyways. You get Rich Green. It's not that Rich Green is lying, but the defense is going.
What the fuck are you talking about?
They find experts that understand, medical examiners or whatever, that their goal is to support the defense. It's not like there's a contract that says, distort information and lie for us, but they understand that that's what they understand they're hired to come up with results that.
Oh my God, dude.
It's a little bit different than what's going on outside. I mean, I've noticed some things that kind of make my spidey senses go off, like Tom's CPU.
Shut the fuck up, you cunt! Shut it!
Okay, so now she's gonna bring up Tom's CPU for fuck's sake.
Walking around with brand new equipment. Richie Keough saying, "Oh, Alan Jackson put me on his payroll for what? Nothing that you do."
Dude, okay, Let me explain something to you, dummy. Tom CPU has been recently monetized. Tom CPU, even before he was monetized, was getting donations. Why was Tom CPU getting donations? Because people simply appreciate what Tom CPU does, which is relentlessly, restlessly go out to every hearing, every single one, and document what goes on outside of that courthouse. He documents all of the support that both Karen Reed and Turtleboy get. And not only that, the justice for John O'Keefe, as well as justice for Sandra Birchmore. Tom CPU, Scott McGinnis, Paul Cristoforo, Dana, they all packed up. They all packed their shit up from a long day outside of the courthouse to support Karen Reed, and then they went off to support Sandra Birchmore and get and protest the lack of justice for Sandra Birchmore. That's what these people did. That's why Tom Baum, my man, gets support, financial support, because he earned it, because people believe in what he's doing, because he's doing something incredibly heartfelt and incredibly noble. And he's doing it because he believes in it. He was doing it before he even had a concept of getting cash apps or donations. He was doing it before his channel was monetized. And he's putting his money right towards the very place where these people would want him to do. Now, these people, me personally, I can't speak for everybody, but I would assume that most people are on the same page as me, is where Tom can spend that shit on whatever the fuck he wants. If Tom, I don't give a fuck, no judgment. I'm not saying Tom, I don't think Tom would do it, but I'm saying even if Tom decided to go spend his money on hookers and blow for a weekend, knock yourself out, Tom. You earned it. You fucking earned it. So you're criticizing him for buying equipment that is going to improve the very content that he is being supported for. So he's actually, in a way, giving back to his supporters. Oh, you guys are showing me support? Well, I'm going to show you support, and I'm going to improve my content for you guys because I love you guys and you guys support me, and this is important. And I want you guys to have the best experience. That's what that tells me, is Tom is going out and buying better equipment, better camera equipment, better audio equipment, just to make sure that the people who support him get a better experience on his channel. That is what you call integrity. All right. Good night, Scott. Good to see you, buddy. Appreciate everything today, man, and every other day. Seriously, you're amazing. Right. Tom is a gem. Tom is a gem, dude. Like, that tells me everything I need to know about this person's character, that she's going to shit all over Tom Baum. Like, she's going to shit all over my homie Tom for doing everything beyond what I expect him to do. And I don't expect him to do shit, if I'm being honest. I really don't. I don't expect a fucking thing. I'm just grateful that he's out there doing it. And if he decided tomorrow, hey, I've done it enough, I'm tired, I'm gonna be like, yo, Tom, straight up, buddy. 100%.
Do is admissible in court, not on the witness. Like, what are you getting paid for? So, I mean, I think that, again, that, like, if they're able to dig into this more, because this is only one case, there's another case concurrent right now. This could be devastating for a lot of people, because the more that you look at it, the more that it looks like a criminal organization.
Yeah. And we'll see what the effect of it is too. That's the proof will be in the pudding. If at the end of the day, they've clearly done this probably the most elaborate effort I've
It's
seen.
a criminal organization, y'all. The protesters outside, Turtleboy and Karen Reed, all in cahoots in a criminal organization. No. The criminal organization is being exposed, and it is not them.
Seen to deliberately, by the legal team, create a mob.
Right.
And all the things that go with a mob, right? Not just taint the jury, but to create this mob in order to try to intimidate witnesses. They may not have given orders to that, but they clearly wanted it because they saw it happening early on and they never stopped it.
Did they not, though? I mean, from what I understand, the rolling rally was approved by Karen Reed herself. And, you know, Richie Keough saying to so many people, Richie has said this to a lot of people, so it's pretty confirmed. I've heard it from people that don't talk to each other, so there's no way that they're all lying. I'm on Alan Jackson's payroll. One thing that I would point out about Rich Keough from Quincy, Massachusetts, is that he, especially in the beginning, was present for the majority of the acts of witness intimidation that Aiden was perpetuating. So if Aiden's out of D&E Pizza, Richie's right there behind him. When they're stalking Jen McCabe's house, Richie is right there with him. When they're at the lacrosse game, Richie's right there with them.
I gotta read this super chat out loud. And thank you, 20. No dance. Two unemployed people talking shit about others earning money. What kind of hater ass bullshit is this? Absolutely accurate. Totally accurate.
I remember one time when Aiden was describing later on the event where he confronted Jen at the lacrosse game. He said, "Oh, I didn't ambush her. I just went up to ask her questions, and it just happened to be a camera guy there."
Right.
The camera guy that you paid and drove there with.
I would be surprised if he paid him, knowing what I know.
He may not, but I mean, the camera guy that you brought there, that covers you, that's with you all the time, you know. So I mean,
your buddy in Oshkosh.
He hasn't even broke 2,000 views on this bullshit.
No.
Unreal.
So is Jen up and ready to come on?
So pathetic.
She gonna come on later?
I told her that you were doing.
I did. About 5 minutes after I talked to you, I did send her that tweet.
Yeah, I saw that. So
Jen who?
Hold on. I love it. My daughter, she'll go to school, but she'll text me about God knows what all day.
I just got a message from one of my sources, and she's at the doctor's today, and she said all the nurses there are all talking about this case, but they're all going with that same evidence that was made popular a year ago, the dog bites and blah blah blah, and it's just it's almost impossible to debunk anything now. Doesn't matter how often.
Yeah, because you can't debunk it, dude. Yes, it's impossible to debunk it. It's impossible to debunk the dog bites because there's no fucking way that John O'Keefe sustained those injuries by getting hit by a car. There's just no way. It's already been established. There's just no way to debunk anything these days. No, bro, exactly, because you can't debunk shit. That's why. It's not, somebody else making it a problem for you to debunk it. It's you can't debunk it. It can't be debunked. Dummy. The fuck are you talking about?
How often you debunk it, it's once it sets in social media, you can't get rid of it. Especially if it's salacious or makes a case seem more interesting, which a conspiracy theory always does. So let's check in the chat. Have you linked
that
yours?
must be exhausting.
it's not letting me do it today.
Oh,
No,
that's weird. How come?
I don't know. It's just not. I don't have the option.
Yeah.
Usually it's right at the top, and I don't have the option. Let me try to refresh and see if maybe that's a problem, but I don't think that is. Hold on.
She was like, hold on.
Oh shit, I'm sorry.
So
Yeah.
I mean, actually, I'm not even sure. Tell me how it is that you do that, because I know how to. Obviously, you can present it, but how you were linking it last week, you and Jen.
So at the top, actually, I wonder if I can show. You don't have to put this up on the screen. I'm just going to show
Okay,
this.
smart ass. Let's see what this
to
mystery's
you.
all about.
Because it was nice because I could even see the chat from your screen and Jen seeing all.
Right,
in
it
one
was
chat,
awesome.
so it's-
But so
yeah.
this might be a little bit of Inception right now. Oh, hold on. Share screen. Share screen. Entire screen.
I'm just going to say good morning to people that are here. Kathy, hi. Good to see you as always. Jackie, Emily, Suzanne, down in Tennessee. Wendy Harder, thank you. B. Tim, always a good source. Antiquated doesn't sleep anymore, I don't think.
So if you look at the top here, down at the bottom where the screen is,
Yeah.
right across above the private chat and comments, Inception here, but
She's
above
trying
the
to
private
figure it
chat
out.
and comments there is usually where it is.
She's almost
so
got
it's
it.
not there today. I don't know why, but it's okay.
She's almost got it. There we go.
I've noticed, so I posted a link to a guy in Norway that's a friend of mine, Marius, made a clip. I was talking about the dejected look that Karen had in court last Friday, which I don't usually go into the looks because you try to read into them too much, but she looks particularly dejected. And he took a clip of it and sent it to me. So I put that on Twitter and put like a 3-paragraph little thing on it. And it got like 250,000 views. But in the past, when you go through, when I hashtag Karen Reed and put it in there, if you look at the top on Karen Reed, like 9 out of 10 what might be stuff that I've put up there. It got a lot of views. And I hadn't put as much up lately, so I didn't, but that thing was not up there at all. And I think the turtle crowd is,
you know, you're live, right, Krusty? Stop it
a little bit.
Hey,
it's all Olivia up there.
Gross.
Everything on the
Knock it
top
off.
on the Karen Reed thing, the top 10 are all Olivia posts. So they know a lot of the tricks.
They definitely I've heard from other people that their accounts are getting like temporary limits and stuff, and the only thing that we can kind of figure out is that they're probably being mass reported, which is fine. It's sort of like the Nazis burning books to me. Like, I mean, you just don't want this information out there, so you're going to suppress it any way that you can, not because it's harmful to anyone, but because you don't like it. It's harmful to the conspiracy theory.
Is Jen going to come in without video? Should I let her in, or should I wait and see if she's still loading? She's here without video and without.
She might still be loading. She might be driving. I'm not sure.
Okay. Yeah. I'll let her in and see what happens.
It's Twattendorfer. That's who it is.
Her mic's not on, so.
Hi there.
Oh,
Good
sorry.
morning.
Oh, God.
Good morning.
Week 2.
Good morning.
Week 2 is here.
It is.
Are you in the car, Jen?
What's that?
Are you in the car?
No, I'm not in the car, and I am
okay.
going to come in with a face soon.
Okay. Yeah, actually, it sounds clear. It sounds good. Yeah.
Good. Excellent. So I missed what you all were chatting about. Get me caught up on your thoughts.
Okay, why don't I show her the video,
Yeah.
Kate, and see what she thinks on this. Let's see if I still have this. So, did you listen, Jen, last week when Lally was instructing the jury to pay attention to the center console?
No.
And it had me wondering what the importance of. But there's a safety system, feature system within advanced cars like this that auto brakes. So if it detects an object in front of you or behind you, it automatically brakes. And there's you can turn it off, but you have to, each time you start the car, you have to go into settings and go through this kind of elaborate process to do it. So it's kind of a pain in the neck. However, there's also an override button. So if you're backing up in your driveway and there's something in the way and that triggers the automatic brake system, you can override it. But it's a button that's on the console.
Jesus.
So we're trying to determine here is if this is
Knock it
Karen.
off.
I decided to look at this last night to see if it's her. Is she hitting that console or is she? So take a look at your screen if you can see it, and see if you think she's shifting or hitting the button. See her reach there?
Yeah, I see it.
Is she hitting that override button? I'll play it once more for you. It's hard to tell. See, she takes her hand up. I don't know, but if that's after she's already put it back in the drive. So
Yeah, it's hard to tell. I think it's going to be a possibility, though, that the jurors have to consider. I mean, look at that. That doesn't look like shifting, but
it doesn't, does it?
right. But what other buttons, I guess, could she be playing with there, that are on the console? But I think certainly it has to be a consideration.
I mean, it would change the whole case because if she can be shown, or if there's some other,
Like, how do these three people not realize how fucking stupid the other is? You know what I mean? Like, there's three of them. Like, how does at least one of them not just be like, dude, okay, wait a minute. One of us is really fucking stupid. Am I just as fucking stupid? Like, why am I not realizing okay. This person just said something really fucking stupid. And then this person said something stupid. Could it be? Could there? I don't.
I'm retarded?
There it is.
some other data footprint of this that shows that she was hitting that override button. That means she's hitting John's traverse with her taillight on purpose, and that's consciousness of guilt. And that's while John is still lying alive.
No, absolutely. I mean, it's such a key point. And I think the jurors will have to look at that and consider it. I hope that they play that even more closely. Did Lally do a good job of?
Dude, that's not going to happen. Lolly, first of all, even if you're right, Lolly's too fucking stupid. Like, Plevin is smarter than Lolly, bro. Yeah, I said that shit out loud. Plevin is smarter than Lolly. I'll give him that. That's how fucking stupid Lolly is. That's how bad of a lawyer Lolly is. I will give Plevin enough credit to say that he's actually smarter than Lolly. That's how fucking dumb Lolly is, because Plevin is fucking dumb. Okay? Ignorant as fuck. Incredibly fucking ignorant. Like, there's this shit with the taillight is fucking hilarious to me. This shifting, because he thinks, oh, well, she unshifts it and blah, 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 blah. And then, there's this automatic thing that locks in, and then, she can't hit something in reverse. Blah, blah, blah. What does it look like she's doing there? It's fucking ridiculous. Because the thing doesn't have that mechanism when it's in reverse, bro. Like, we just saw it. We just saw the data. Brought to you by Sleuthy Goosey. The makers of your spreadsheet.
Of repeating that, as we've seen the defense do, repeat over and over and over again the point he wants to make?
No, he doesn't do a good job at that.
And he didn't elaborate why he wanted them to pay close attention to the center console, at least not in court. Now, I'm not sure what was said.
He wasn't allowed to by the judge. You could only be very general with your instructions.
Now,
so he's gonna.
My prediction, what's going to happen? Mark the timestamp, everything. What I'm saying here, when this is over, Karen Reed is found not guilty. He's going to say that it's because Lolly's a bad lawyer, which is part of the reason. But it's like, it's that little bit of a reason. Now, that's not to underplay how bad of a lawyer Lolly is. Make no mistake about that. The problem is that this case, to even have a snowball's chance in fucking hell, I mean, the only way that this case, considering how fucked up this investigation was conducted, needs the most shrewd Lex Luthor brain of a prosecutor that you could ever fucking imagine. That prosecutor doesn't exist. There's no non-fictional realm where that prosecutor can the prosecutor that can successfully prosecute and get a conviction in this case. That prosecutor does not exist. It's like saying Superman exists. He doesn't. Okay? It's not possible. It can't be done. It doesn't matter how good of a prosecutor you have. The evidence is not nearly enough. And Lolly is like, I mean, you have that fictional prosecutor, and then you have Lolly like way over here. Can't be done. Cannot be done. Is Nick and Plevin going to be on Court TV again tonight? When is that? What time is that? Yeah, I'll stream it. Of course I will. Somebody give me a time on that, and I'll stream it.
Elaborate on it later. Yeah.
Well, we saw the same thing in the concerning the testimony of Paul O'Keefe and even Aaron O'Keefe. When I mean, in terms of that discussion of going up and getting her clothes, they really needed to focus in again on that time frame.
Okay, shut the fuck up, lady. All right, here we go.
Yannetti and Jackson both saying that these were new photos that were brought to their attention since her testimony on Friday that proves that she perjured herself on the stand. Well, at the end of the day, the judge hasn't ruled whether or not she's going to let those pictures in as evidence, but we did get a hint that the other person in that relationship, supposed relationship, Caitlin Albert, she may be on the stand as early as Wednesday.
Matt Johnson in the middle of it all. Crime and justice correspondent. Thanks so much, Matt. Wow, what a day. Okay, let's bring in some guests to break down this big development. Joining us tonight from Massachusetts, Karen Reed supporter and expert Nick Rocco, and criminal defense attorney Joseph Krowski Jr. Who's in Brockton tonight. Great to see you both. All right, I just want to put on the screen real quick, just so people understand who Caitlin Albert is. Just the relationship here, and then we'll have our conversation. So Caitlin Albert, child of Brian and Nicole Albert, the owners of the home. She's the one who went to high school, and the question is, what exactly is her relationship with Katie McLaughlin, the firefighter who said she heard Karen Reed say, "I did it, I did it, I did it." Okay, Nick, how important is this, and why do you think that she committed perjury here?
Well, first off, she's lying on the stand saying that she is an acquaintance. These two went to grade school together, high school together. They were on the same track team together, and pictures are surfacing. She is in many photos with her, going back as early as, grade school to now the most recent picture of being June 2021 at a baby shower, and is 6 to 8 months before Officer John O'Keefe had been brutally murdered. So these pictures are not just like they're in the picture together; they're next to each other. They're sitting on each other's laps in a hot tub. I mean, all of these pictures have been surfacing, and they can all be found on Turtleboy's website. And people need to see what is going on here, because for somebody who is the one that said, "I hit him, I hit him, I hit him," that came from her. She was the first one to say that. And now we know why she's doing that, because one of her good friends lives there, grew up there. She has to protect somebody, and unfortunately, she's not protecting herself in this situation.
Joseph Krowski Jr., your thoughts about these very serious allegations of perjury being made by the defense inside the courtroom against the firefighter?
So look, it's not perfect, but it's also not perjury. What she described her relationship with Caitlin Albert is actually the textbook definition of an acquaintance, someone that you know, someone that you're friendly with, but someone that you're not close friends with.
But nonetheless, the pictures should be shown to the jury.
But she said, "I know her, socialized with her, but I've never had a one-on-one connection with her. I've never socialized with her just one-on-one." If we talk about our everyday lives, we have people we see at our kids' sport events, at bar association meetings. We take pictures with them. We see them every 3 or 4 months. Sure, we like them. We know them.
I mean, he's right.
I don't know if they're necessarily friends. I think it could have been prepared a little bit better. Just take ownership. If you know her, you know her.
Right.
You know the questions coming up.
Exactly.
And again, it could have been better, but it certainly doesn't meet the legal definition under Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 268, Section 1 for perjury.
Right.
All right, here's what's going to happen, folks. Nick's going to come back in just a little bit. Joseph Kraske Jr. is staying with us because we've got a lot more to get to. We're going to take a look at what was done
Well,
at the
he's not
scene by
lying. I mean, come on.
investigators. Plus, coming up next hour.
In Boise, Idaho, the so-called doomsday prophet
Okay.
Chad.
So, yeah, it's a touchy situation because the thing is we know she's a liar. But what matters in court is what you can prove. Can you prove that she lied about their relationship? There's no way to prove it unless you have pictures and texts of her saying, hey, you're my best friend, and blah, 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 so on and so forth. They're in a very generally social situation in all of these pictures. Now, to you and I, we're like, okay, that she's a fucking liar. And I'm with you. Trust me. But in court, you cannot, that's not enough to prove perjury. Okay. Now, what should absolutely happen here is that the jury needs to see those pictures and decide for themselves whether or not she is a liar or whether or not she is a trustworthy, credible witness. That's what needs to happen. And those pictures will absolutely prove that she is not a credible witness. And that's what matters in this trial. It doesn't matter. Like, I don't give a fuck if she catches a perjury charge or not. If I'm being totally honest, I don't care. What I'm saying is I want the jury to be able to see those pictures so that they can decide for themselves whether or not she is a trustworthy and credible witness for the prosecution. And I think that they'll find, based on everything else that we're seeing, that she is not. I think the jury will absolutely find that. So there's still commercials here. Exactly, little mystery. The jury has a right to decide for themselves if she is a credible witness or not. Agreed, 100%. And yes, she is small potatoes. I could give a fuck if she is actually charged with perjury or not. Now, if it helps Karen Reed's case, sure, charge her with perjury if you can, because we know she's a fucking liar. The question is whether or not Judge Bev will determine whether or not she is, she falls under the statute of perjury in the state of Massachusetts. And according to that attorney, she doesn't. So, but like I said, I don't really give a shit. All I care about is that the jury sees those pictures and gets to decide for themselves. That's what I'm hoping for, period. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm leaning towards that as well. I don't think perjury will stick. It'd be nice if it did, because like I said, we all know she's fucking lying, but it's going to be hard to prove. Because again, I mean, that's a criminal charge right there. So you have to look at that. That's a totally different case. If she's charged with perjury, they have to be ready to prove in court that she perjured herself, that she lied. They have to prove that she lied. They can't, she's not on trial. She wouldn't be on trial for being a credible witness or not. She would be on trial for lying. So saying that she's an acquaintance, you can't prove that those pictures say that she's more than acquaintance. I could look at that and go, I don't know, that feels like she's more than an acquaintance. You know what I mean? But that's not solid evidence to prove that they're more than acquaintances. I mean, you need like ring camera footage of her going over there by herself to that house, hanging out, for hours at a time. You need proof of that. They're not going to, I mean, we're talking about the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, though. They're trying somebody for murder when they don't have any proof. So go figure. Right. Right. Exactly, little mystery. Basically, in a nutshell, you're correct. No, I doubt they have Caitlin's phone. Why would they have Caitlin's phone? They have no reason to have Caitlin's phone. They don't have probable cause to seize Caitlin's phone. And why would they seize Caitlin's phone when they're when they are absolutely favoring, or when the defense is proving that they're favoring the Alberts? She's an Albert. So they're not going to have her phone.
Blower was concerned. Why was that a decision as far as that being an implement to use this particular scene?
It was a unique scene. There was snow. had never processed a scene in the snow. I had seen a leaf blower used in the snow, and it's quite effective at being controlled. So that's why it was readily accessible. The scene was
this guy's like a cartoon character.
As we were on scene with the weather. Snow was piling up, and I thought that was the best method at that time.
So here it is. You're using the leaf blower to blow off some of the snow to attempt to recover some of the pieces of evidence and uncover blood and pieces of the tailgate. This is, I don't know if we've ever seen. I mean, he's never
I
done
disagree.
It before. I've never seen it before. Is it effective? Is it proper? Was it a good choice? Let's talk about it.
Was it a good choice?
Criminal defense attorney Joseph Krowski Jr. And joining us, former New York City Assistant Commissioner, former NYPD Sergeant Special Assignment, Dr. Keith Taylor. Also with us, criminologist, author, and professor at St. Thomas University, Dr. Debbie Goodman. Great to have everyone here. Dr. Keith Taylor, let me start with you. You get snow in New York. You got a crime scene. It snowed. What do you think of bringing the leaf blower out to try to uncover and get to some of the potential evidence at the scene?
Well, normally New York City NYPD has a lot of resources available. And as long as they can secure a crime scene, they can usually get additional resources relatively quickly. If there's a situation where it looks like evidence might be lost or contaminated or destroyed by,
like using a leaf blower,
then that might require being innovative and using
that's not innovative,
some sort
dude.
of alternative method to secure that evidence and to keep it available for further analysis.
Dr. Debbie Goodman, you see any downside to this?
Good evening, Vinny. It's a pleasure to join you. You know, this is such a meticulous, pristine process when an investigator is gathering, collecting, and preserving evidence. And of course, it requires a lot of education, a lot of training. So this is indeed questionable. I certainly understand the importance of an exigent circumstance and maybe the need to be creative, but at the same time, you know, to gather, collect, and preserve evidence in a credible, authentic manner is critical. So between the leaf blower and these red Solo cups, I
and
think
the
it's
Stop
going
and
to be
Shop
very
bag,
questionable for a jury to hear this.
Let's get to those Solo cups that came up on
Agreed.
cross-examination. The defense obviously,
I mean,
believing
she's
that this
right.
was not the best way to get the evidence. But
The other guy said that shit with a straight face.
Used a leaf blower in a crime scene preservation effort.
First time.
First time.
First time.
Your testimony was temporary evidence containers to collect that blood, correct?
Yep, we utilized cups, plastic cups.
Those were red Solo cups, right?
That's correct.
Dude,
The
he's
same
saying
kind of
that
red
shit
Solo
with his
cups
whole
you
chest.
drink, beer out of at a barbecue.
Yeah, sure, you could. That's right.
I'll allow it. There's nothing special about the red Solo cup?
Other than their plastic, nothing special.
And where did you get those red Solo cups?
We got them from Lieutenant Kelleher.
So in other words, you got the, to use your words, the evidence containers from a neighbor.
Correct.
He had some Solo cups in his house.
We asked him if he had any plastic containers, any type of plastic container that we could utilize.
Okay,
Hey,
Joseph Krowski Jr. I
you
covered
got
a case in New Jersey. They put evidence in a pizza box. They absolutely did. Wow. So what are your thoughts about the Solo cups for blood evidence in this case?
Well, look, it's not that I don't just love the way they were doing it. I don't love who's doing it. Much like New York,
Right.
we have resources. We have crime scene services from the state police. There's a sheriff's department 15 minutes away that most likely has a Bureau of Criminal Investigations. They are trained to preserve and collect evidence. The acknowledgement and concession, this was really the first time he had handled this type of crime scene, is problematic. You know, I like the analogy to barbecues. When I see solo cups, I think of bear pong. I guess he was being innovative, but why not wait? If the temperatures had not surpassed the freezing point, why not wait till the professionals are there? As far as the paper bag, I will tell you, paper bags is actually the common practice for securing blood evidence because
Not
it's
a shopping
permeable. I know the
paper
National
bag.
Institute of Criminal Justice, most state police departments, after you secure blood in a container, it's preferable to put it in a paper bag. So I thought that was much ado about nothing. But again, I'm wondering why the Canton Police Department is the one taking charge of evidence collection. And this is 2022. I mean, conceitedly, they don't investigate a lot of murder cases, but they have accidents, they have assaults, they have cases where there's blood evidence. I cannot believe that they didn't have the appropriate containers and cone markers and things that every other modern day police department you would expect to have.
Right.
And Dr. Keith Taylor, that's the other big part of this, right? Is who's doing the collecting of the evidence there. It's cold. Like this stuff is not going anywhere. So what's the rush to collect it in a solo cup versus bringing state police in or the sheriff or someone who's got what I guess you would normally collect this type of evidence in?
And so the lieutenant stated that nothing was usual about this case, and it certainly would be very helpful to understand the thinking behind the necessity to use these non-traditional ways of collecting evidence.
Oh my God, dude,
for that
this
purpose.
guy.
Why couldn't they wait to get the appropriate containers that are admissible in court and have some sort of
because they didn't expect it to go to court
and is accepted by the appropriate evidentiary standards. So I think we need to find out a little more about why they thought that this was an exigent circumstance that required that they collect this evidence right away using the most efficient way that they could, as opposed to the normal process where it'd be less likely to be rejected in court.
I want to take a listen now to more cross-examination, and this has to do with what else they're looking for or find at the scene and where they go to look for it.
At any point along that curb line, did you see a men's shoe?
Along the exposed curb line, no.
Did you see it anywhere else?
No.
And you didn't see a hat anywhere else?
No.
You didn't see any bright red taillight material anywhere else?
I did not.
No.
You did not see any clear taillight material?
No.
I did not.
You did not see any black plastic material?
No.
You certainly didn't see 45 pieces of plastic material?
No.
If you had found a broken glass, if you find a broken glass on somebody's yard in a situation like this, did that seem out of place to you?
They were coming from a bar. It didn't seem totally out of place, no.
At the time that you found the broken glass, would you rationally think, well, maybe the rest of this glass is inside the residence?
No.
You did not think that?
No, there was reason that I didn't think that.
Did you think that, well, let me ask you this. Did you ever go inside the house to search for the other part of the glass?
Absolutely not.
Because you made up your mind initially where that glass came from.
Objection.
You can answer that, sir.
No.
Did you search the house for any other matching glasses?
No.
Oops.
No.
Exactly.
All right, Dr. Debbie Goodman, your thoughts here now. We've got a missing shoe because the victim has just one shoe on. He's referencing 45 pieces of plastic that are found afterwards by the state police when they come in. And then you've got the cocktail glass. and you're not matching it, or there's no attempt to match it either in the house or I guess at one of the bars that they went to. What are your thoughts about how you should handle all of those issues?
Well, that's not Lank, Hurt Locker.
Right. And certainly there's this lack of either professionalism or just knowledge and training, unfortunately, in which this investigator is operating. Again, some of the earlier commentary about all of the resources and all of the mechanisms in place that would have absolutely heightened so many levels and layers to this, because you want to connect the dots. The evidence is designed for that very purpose. But it almost feels like it was done in this haphazard type of manner.
Stop
So
it.
I think what's really being questioned now would be two things: the level of training and education and experience of the individual doing the gathering, collecting, preserving, and then the process here that maybe just simply was not aligned with process, procedure, protocol, and
Y'all
policy, which
stop.
has to
Leave that
happen
lady
in
alone.
every case. So it's there's a lot of doubt.
All right, folks, we're out of time for tonight, but we will speak again about this
No
case for
Plevin?
sure. Thank you all.
Shocker.
Joseph Krowski Jr., Dr. Keith Taylor, Dr. Debbie Goodman.
Wait,
When we come back, we're going to talk
Nick
about
Rocco's coming
someone
back.
else who was at the
So
house
maybe
that night.
Plevin's on.
Really seemingly important
Who
figure
is
in all
Brian
this.
Higgins?
Brian Higgins.
Who is he? Who's Brian Higgins? Oh my goodness. People. Yeah, yo, don't be mean to the lady who, you know, at least she's, you know, spitting facts, keeping it real. Like, this is a sham, dude. Like, she was at least explaining why it was fucking crazy. Like, you don't collect evidence like that. And why don't they have, I mean, that wasn't even like the testimony where they explained this dude tried to say that there was no training in the police academy on how to preserve evidence. Like, what? This is all, I mean, this is none of this shit is like a jury sees this. You know what I mean? A jury sees all of this madness. Like, the most important thing that we have to like remember and take out of today, okay, all seriousness, most important thing that we need to take out of today is the fact that we saw video footage of him with the leaf blower blowing that shit around. We didn't see his foot sink into 6 inches of snow. There was not 6 inches of snow there. We saw him stepping on snow that you would have absolutely seen at least one piece of taillight. Yet there was no trace of a taillight. There was no shoe. There was no belt. This is all very, very important. This is the most important thing to take away from today, because this taillight is what supposedly broke, striking John O'Keefe, leaving no marks on his body, by the way, except his head. So, according to the prosecution's theory, Plevin's Sims video is the only thing that makes any sense. And by watching that video, all you can do is laugh because that shit wouldn't happen. So, the fact of the matter is that we watched them blow around evidence with a leaf blower, and then the result of them blowing around all the evidence, all of the snow with a leaf blower, there was no tail light that surfaced, no piece of a tail light that surfaced. There was no shoe that surfaced. They did not search the house. Nobody went downstairs into the basement. There was literally no thorough investigation conducted into the death of a Boston police officer. There was a frame up. There was evidence that was clearly planted, and we haven't even gotten to the planting yet. The defense is building up to this. And they're doing it with the prosecution's witnesses that the prosecution is calling. This is what I find amazing. This is why they are that good. Jackson and Yannetti are that good, because they haven't even started calling their own witnesses yet. They're building their third-party culprit defense through the prosecution's own witnesses via cross-examination. And it's like a symphony. It's beautiful.
Now, Sergeant Good, who is Brian Higgins?
He is a ATF agent that has a satellite office out of the Canton Police Department.
Do you know of any ATF agents that have offices at the Canton Police Department?
Not that I know of, no.
You're aware that Brian Higgins is a close friend of the former Canton Police Chief, Kenneth Berkowitz?
Sure.
You know that Chief Berkowitz was the reason that he was allowed to maintain an office at the Canton Police Department.
I didn't know that.
Okay, so Brian Higgins. This is a name you're going to hear throughout this trial, and the defense is going to make a big deal about Brian Higgins. He was inside the home that night at the after party. If you take a look at people inside the Albert home on that night, Brian Higgins, one of them. Also, for background, friendly with John O'Keefe, but also probably a little more friendly with Karen Reed, allegedly. I don't know, but that's going to come up throughout this case as well. I want you to take a listen to Sergeant Sean Good here again, talking about that night, right? It's the night. It's the night of the party into the following morning where John O'Keefe is found. Take a listen.
You would agree with me that 1:30 in the morning was hours before John O'Keefe was found unresponsive on Brian Albert's front lawn, correct?
Yes.
You had no information at 1:30 in the morning that John O'Keefe was out on Brian Albert's front lawn at that time, correct?
Correct.
And when Brian Higgins entered the department, that was the first time you had seen him on either the 28th or the 29th, correct?
Correct.
And this is again at 1:30 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
you have to say yes or no.
Yes.
Thank you. You didn't know where he was coming from?
No.
You didn't know what he had done that night?
Absolutely not.
You didn't know who he had been with that night?
No.
This was a Friday night into early Saturday morning with a major blizzard forecast.
Correct.
It already started snowing.
Yes.
It was supposed to get worse.
Yes.
Was it unusual to see Brian Higgins?
Yeah, Lolly said it, Michelle K.
1:30 a.m. on a weekend?
Lolly said it. He said it like 3 times.
Did he tell you why he was there?
No.
Let's skip ahead a few hours later. You're still working dispatch when a call came in that a man was found unresponsive on Brian Albert's front lawn, correct?
Yes.
It's just after 6 a.m.
Thank you, Scott
You
McGinnis.
would agree with me that ultimately when the location was entered into your system, the location was entered as 32 Fairview, correct?
No, it was 34.
Oops.
We put it out as 34.
Nope.
34 was the actual address, but 32 is what made it into the police report, sir. Did it not?
Right.
No, my police report says 34 Fairview.
You're
What is the
a
location
fucking
listed
liar.
in your very police report?
On the face sheet, it says 32, but in my narrative is 34.
All right, let's bring in our guest back with us, Karen Reed, supporter and expert, Nick Rocco, and joining us, the YouTube creator behind Yellow Cottage Tales, Kevin Lenahan.
Oh, here we
Great to have
go.
you both there. All right, Kevin, I'll start with you. Why is Brian Higgins back at the police station, at his office in the police station at 1:30 after being at the Alberts home for the party?
Well, we don't know, but Officer Good testified that it wasn't unusual. So, I mean, it's just how he operated for whatever reason.
Nick, your thoughts about Brian Higgins being there at 1:30?
I think it's pretty unusual for an ATF agent who was with Brian Albert all day down in New York at a funeral, came back home, drinking all day, and to clock in at 1:30 in the morning, drunk, drinking all day. What police officer or a federal FTA agent is able to clock into work at 1:30 in the morning after drinking all night. That is absurd.
Kevin, any
Totally absurd.
concern there from your perspective? And when, because I think he's got to testify, right? Brian Higgins?
Yeah.
And will likely have some sort of an explanation for being there because it's kind of unusual. There's a snowstorm coming up. We all know. Your thoughts?
Well, there's some concern for him professionally, about his conduct, about whether, some of his practices and style of doing things. But the jury's not going to hear this, but the feds dug hard into this, and they have told Brian Higgins' attorney that he is not a target. And I can tell you from excellent sources that Brian Higgins is still working to this day for the ATF, and he still has his office in Canton. So he's not a suspect there.
Let's take a listen now to part of the defense.
That's the best you got, Plevin?
Again, referencing
Really?
Brian Higgins.
After people left the after-hours party at Brian Albert's house on January 29, Brian Albert claimed that he had no contact with anyone but his wife until he was woken up in the morning. But you will learn that he was ultimately confronted by the fact that his phone records revealed that he had actually placed a phone call to ATF agent Brian Higgins, his friend, the same friend who had been at his house earlier that night. And that was at 2:22 in the morning. You'll learn that Brian Higgins called him back 17 seconds later, and they connected 22 seconds on their cell phones.
Butt dial.
All right, Kevin, your thoughts about now you've got Brian Albert at the home, apparently calling. I don't know if they're going to say it's a double butt dial, but calling at 2:22 in the morning after Brian Higgins has gone back to his office at the Canton Police Station.
Plevin, you're on court TV. Don't do that.
Guys that are out drinking
Control yourself,
do things
Plevin.
sometimes that they don't want to be known to the public. They have things on their phones that they don't want to be known to the public. And so there may be some fudging about exactly what on, but it was only a 22-second call. So I hardly think this was the stuff of a grand conspiracy.
Nick, your thoughts about these calls, 2:22, is that time significant?
Of course it's significant. I mean, first they're saying that they had no contact with anybody. Now when they get exposed for lying, then it turns into a butt dial. And at 2:22, guess what happened right after that? Jennifer McCabe Google searches Hosslong to die in cold. That's not a coincidence.
Right.
The plan was in place, and it's the butt dials didn't happen. It's going to come out. They were not butt dials. They had communication. They know what they were talking about, and it will come out soon.
Keep it real, Nick. I love it.
Take a look at side-by-side images right now of the back of Karen Reed's car because there's some images. On the left, this is from the Sally Port. On the right is what they saw at the jury view. I know at the jury view, the back tail light was completely removed. Any significance or anything that either one of you took from those images today, the video and the images from Karen Reed's car being seized and brought into the Sally Port? I'll start with you, Kevin.
I think it's hard to take anything today. I did note that last Friday, Lally asked the jury to pay special note to the center console.
Oh, here we go. Jesus
doing a little bit of research, I found out that the center console on this vehicle has an advanced safety system that automatically brakes. And on the left of the center console is an override. So will there be any data in the electronic record as to whether she used that?
Is that for backing up?
Oh my
also?
God, bro.
Yes.
So her
No,
vehicle
it's
has
not for backing
backup
up.
safety as well, where it'll brake if there's someone there, unless you
Stay tuned,
override it.
guys. I'm going to show you why.
Yeah, that's my understanding. And I took an effort last night. I just on a hunch looked at the video of her backing up into the drive lane. And you do see her reach over, but you don't know if is she pushing the override or is she grabbing the shift. It's really hard to tell. But she does clearly reach over right at that time when you would need to hit the override. So
You said
maybe
that shit on
suggesting she
court
might have
TV.
intentionally backed into John's Traverse.
All right, Nick, anything you took away from the video from inside the Sally Port and either comparing it to the what they saw at the jury view or from anything else in the case?
Well, I think the jury view most likely went well for Karen Reed. These jurors are smart. They most likely sized themselves up to this vehicle. They're looking at the damage of the car. There's really no damage other than a missing taillight. And, you know, when these jury members are looking at this vehicle, it's in pristine condition other than the fact that, you know, they ripped out the center console and the whole taillight housing is gone. But when those jurors were looking at that taillight and measuring their body up to it, I'm most likely they came to the conclusion that a body did not hit this vehicle at all. But this Sally Port video, it's interesting that they have this one, but they don't have the 42 minutes missing when they brought the vehicle there in the morning, or I should say at night. Actually, when they first brought the vehicle to the garage.
Facts.
Gone. 42 minutes.
Nick Rocco, Kevin Lenahan, thank you so much. Appreciate your time. We've got more to get to. Folks.
Nick.
Return. Something else you need to know. Plus, coming up next hour.
All right. So, people, real quick, show you guys what I'm talking about. This is thanks to Sleuthy Goosey. Okay. Plevin, I hope you're watching, buddy, because we were just watching you make a total fucking ass of yourself on Court TV. Yeah. So, using the driving support systems. The system may not operate under the following situations. If a battery terminal has been disconnected or reconnected and then the vehicle has not been driven for a certain amount of time. But highlighted here is if the shift lever is in reverse. Okay? Like, dude. Here we go. One more time. You guys ready? If the shift lever is in reverse. In reverse. So, yeah. Plevin, you dummy. You dummy. Congrats, Plevin. You just like made an ass of yourself, not once, not twice, but 3 times on Court TV. Good job. All right, folks. I think I'm gonna call it, man. I am beat, but I gotta go to the gym. If I don't go to the gym, man, I'm gonna start to get lazy, and I can't do that. So I'm going. But bright and early tomorrow. It is a half day. Yeah, let's give Detective Plevin a hand real quick. Good job, Plevin. Guys, man, those of you guys hung out with me all this time. I mean, I was live, a total of 11, almost 12 hours, folks? Jesus. Jeez, you guys are troopers hanging with me that long, man. I love you guys for it, though. You guys are amazing. I am going to wrap this up, folks. Bright and early tomorrow, day 6, people. Lank will be testifying, okay? Big day tomorrow, and then we're going to find out what happened with Katie McLaughlin. But hopefully, all we can really hope for is that the jury sees those pictures. But even still, not that big of a deal if they don't at this point, considering the testimony that we heard today. Whatever. So anyway, guys, again, thanks for hanging with me so long, man. You guys are amazing. I love you guys very, very much. Okay. And we will do this again very soon, my friends.